I hope you can hear me right now. I hope you can hear me, because like if it messes up, then it'll be very bad. All right, but yeah, I know the title, right? It might be a little clickbaity, but you gotta hear me out on this. You gotta hear me out. You gotta stay with me. You gotta stay with me here, all right? Because I'm gonna go through an entire Lelouch kit that I made up. All right, I need you to stay with me here, all right? Like this is the best Lelouch we're ever gonna get, bro. Like like the last guy who talked about Lelouch and his kit, that was like maybe like a year or two ago, bro. And that guy, that like, sure, he had some good stuff in there, but it didn't really look that fun. I don't know, like they had like one of his moves was like a nuke. Like, you can't that can't be a move. You know, that makes no sense. You know, but like, but this one though, this one we're cooking. All right, you gotta hear me out, right? You gotta walk through this with me, right? Through like an imaginary journey. We're gonna go through an imaginary journey, and I might put like some like ABA gameplay in the back, just to show you kind of like how it would function, right? But you gotta kind of visualize it, right? All right. So first off, the first thing you gotta talk about with Lelouch, right, is that he's gonna have two base kits. So like two like forms, like think like Saber or like Devilman, right? That are in the roster right now. They can press the button, right? I think it's the 4 button, or like 1. I think, no, I think it's 4 for both of them, right? You press 4, right, and then you switch between 2 different forms, right? And you get different moves depending on which form you're at, right? The same thing's gonna happen with Lelouch, right? His first form is gonna be like innocent student, right? Like just like his regular student form, right? Like when he's at school and when he's not Zero, he's just a normal civilian, right? The second form is gonna be Zero, and that's what we're gonna cover next, right? But that's just something to keep in mind. Like, this guy has 6 moves essentially in his base, but you have to switch between his things, right? For that to even work, right? So let's talk about let's talk about 1 first, all right? So he yells at Suzaku, right? I'm hoping that they can put the voice line in, like the voice line of him saying Suzaku. But if they can't, then just put like a little text box above him saying it, right? Calling out Suzaku, right? So it's if he's using this on the ground, right? If he's using the move 1, right, on the ground, it's gonna be called tactical assault, right? It's just gonna say that on it, right? It's gonna say Suzaku tactical assault, right? Lelouch yells out Suzaku, right? And then he points at the enemy, right? And Suzaku comes out within a short range to perform a leg sweep and then a Yoriichi flip. So you know how Yoriichi flip, right? I might put it on screen, but the Yoriichi flip, right? Right now in the game, right? If you use it, it like launches them pretty far away. But with Suzaku, it's gonna be pretty short. It's gonna have like less knockback, like less, like they're not gonna go as far, right? So then you can extend off of it, right? And it looks cool at the same time, right? But the thing is, right? When Suzaku comes out, he's not gonna be like a long range move, right? Like, you can't use him half across the map. Like, he's really close range, right? So when you call out Suzaku, it's gonna be like an actual move. Like, you have to be within reasonable M1 range for this move to work, or you're just gonna whiff it, right? It's not gonna work. Suzaku's gonna come out and he's gonna hit nothing. He's gonna despawn because there's no enemy there, right? So it's not gonna be like Sukuna, where he can throw his bull out and it goes out, goes all the way, right? It's not like that. It's gonna be really close by, right? So his moves are like assists. They're not really summons. They're more of like an assist type move, right? Because he doesn't really do much of the fighting. And I almost forgot, he has a passive. His passive is that he has Ilya health bar, which means he has like low health. He's like a squishy character, which makes sense because Lelouch does not fight and he's very weak, compared to like Suzaku, who's like a soldier, right? So he has to use other characters to help him fight because he doesn't actually do the fighting. But he obviously he does his M1s, right? But everything else is from another character helping him out. Let's see. Okay, so second is checkmate. Checkmate is. Oh wait. I forgot about 1. Hold up. We're going back to 1. Hold. Stay with me. We're going back to 1. Okay, because 1 has an air variant. It's called Spinsaku, which is like a weird, funny thing that Crunchyroll did, right? They basically accepted the meme, right? The joke, by making a clip on YouTube and calling it Spinsaku, where he does a spin. He does like a weird spin, and it just looks funny. So they call him Spinsaku, right? And basically, like in the air, he does a spin. And yeah, if you're in the air, you can ladder with spin. If you're using Suzaku in the air, because if you use the ground variant, it wouldn't. a tactical like a leg sweep wouldn't work in midair. That'd be weird, right? So it's better just like to make an air variant where he does a spin instead, and you're adding the meme to it, which is pretty funny, right? All right. So and then both wait, the first one is blockable, right? Wait, did I put it here? Hold it. I don't know if I put it here, but the first one is blockable, right? Except for the flip. The flip is not blockable. Like Yurichi, you can't block the flip, right? And then unless they move out the way, right? Because the low sweep is blockable. So if they block the low sweep and they dash away, they can get away from the flip. Because the flip doesn't have like a huge leaping range like Yurichi does. It's only the flip, which is only it only like works really if they're not blocked. So they just get out the way, right? So yeah, that one, the first version is blockable on ground. The air variant, I'm debating if it should be blockable or not blockable, and I'm leaning towards not blockable. Like if you use it, you should be able to guard break. So I'm gonna go off of that the spin Zeku can guard break. We're gonna leave that there, all right? So the first one can get so it's like that, right? All right. Now move 2. Now we're talking about checkmate, right? That's what the move's called, right? Lelouch pulls out a black king chess piece, serving as a counter. If hit, makes Suzuku come out, piloting the Lancelot, using its hooks to attach to the opponent before dashing, right, at the opponent with the rollerblades that it has, with all the mechs have, right? But then it lets out a flurry of flashes with its 2 swords, knocking away. I'm debating if this one should knock away or combo start, but I'm gonna leave it as knock away for now. I'm gonna leave most of the balancing stuff for the ABA team, but the fundamentals of how the moves work is like the main important part to take away from here, right? All right, so that's like the basic way to use it. Just if you're using it raw, just out of nowhere, it's a counter. If used in a combo, if you use this in a combo, it brings out Lelouch's maid from the show, right? To perform kicks before knocking away and throwing kunais that automatically hit and track the person. But they knock away, so the kunais are what knocks away, and the kicks. So the kicks knock away a little bit, right? But the kunais is what really like launches them away and makes it impossible to hit them, right? And then if you use Lelouch's maid after like a M1 string, right? Whether it be like the normal kick away, the up tilt, or the like the ladder push away in air. If you use the maid, then it's gonna she's gonna do like sky jumps towards the enemy and then perform the combo. So you can do something, you can do something like M1 string, up tilt, and then use the maid, and she'll chase the guy up and then do the combo, and and then throw them forward, so they'll still be airborne that entire time. And then we go to move 3. So that was move 2, all done and dusted. Move 3 is one of the most interesting ones in this kit, right? Base kit, because it combines with the 0 kit. All right, so C2, Lelouch yells out C2, right? Hopefully, all these are getting voice lines. No, only the ones where they call out the names. That's the one that we need voice lines for. That's the cool ones, right? We don't need a voice line for checkmate, right? But Lelouch yells out C2. CC with the white strap suit, kind of her basic model, comes out holding a holding cheese cun in her. It's like a little plushie, right? It's called cheese cun in her arms, or a Pizza Hut pizza, right? This one right here, because they did a collab. It's pretty funny. I don't know if they can add that in, but if they can, that's pretty cool. And the animation is random between the two, right? And I'm thinking that it works the same as a Maharaga, where it takes hit for Lelouch, and especially since he has he has a lower amount of health, right? He kind of needs this, right? So he gets like, she can take hits for him, right? But obviously not to the same extent as Maharaga can, because Maharaga is like buff. He has way more health, right? So she can maybe take like 3-4 hits for him, right? And until she just dies, right? Quote unquote dies, right? And then she'll just come back when the cooldown ends, right? Or we could do an Ilya bird damage mechanic thing, where how the birds, they each take a hit for her Ilya. We could do the same thing here, where instead of her having a health bar, she maybe just takes like those 3 or 4 hits, and they just you could tell by the amount of time she maybe says something in her text box, like ow or something, right? So if she gets hit 4 times, 3 times, she goes away. Um, and this has a shared cooldown with the zero base, right? And then just more information on black and white. It switches between innocent and zero, like we already discussed, and it plays a short animation of him throwing his cape on or throwing it away, and that changes, his mode, right? If he's throwing it on, obviously he's becoming zero. And then this one was a little bit weird. I was saying the characters just act on their own, right? So like you could like for example, you use Suzaku, he hits because you're close enough, or you're doing a combo, and then it hits because you're in the combo. Suzaku comes out, and then you're able to move around. But I'm thinking that's probably not the best way to go with it. I'm gonna go with like kind of like if you use Sakuna manga Sakuna, right? If you use that one, it's like you get slowed. You kind of get like a slow walk going, and you're like walking pretty slow while the guy's doing the moves, right? So you can't like combo extend off of it, and that kind of makes sense because like here I put like Lelouch points at the enemy, right? So as you're pointing at the enemy, kind of commanding them to do that, you're not able to move and like M1 after that, because that'd be a little bit too much. You can start M1ing as they're doing the combo and they can't get out of it, and then do like something like the Poochie thing where you can put barrage out, right? And then start hitting them, and then you can extend off of that again, right? So you can get like 2 M1 combos off of 1 combo extend. That's a little too much here. So I'm gonna hopefully y'all can forget that. All right, now on to the second one. Zero base, right? When he switches he switches sides, right? So he's no longer an innocent guy. Now he's Zero, the terrorist, right? And now he's with the terrorist group. So now he has Kallen on his side, right? He can use Kallen. And Kallen is she's similar to Suzaku a little bit, right? In concept. So similarly, right? Lelouch come. Oh my goodness gracious! Kallen comes out. Lelouch calls out for Kallen. Lelouch is like, Kallen. Hopefully the voice line comes out. If not, text box again. Pointing at the enemy. So he points at the enemy again. Kallen shoots her pistol. She shoots some laser rounds, right? I'm debating if this guard breaks or not. I'm gonna say yes, it guard breaks, but that's up to balance team. That's up to the balance team. I don't care. But she shoots her pistol at the enemy, right? If they're far away, that's all it does. It just shoots. So like if they're charging up a Kamehameha, or a Gatling, right? Or they're using Ragnar, right? And they're like Tatake, whatever he says, right? And you can stop them immediately by using Kallen, which auto tracks and hits them with the pistol, like a Dio knife thing, right? But you can't extend off of that. Like you can't because if you're close enough, what happens is you do the second portion of the move. If used in a combo or like just near enough, right? If you're near the person and this happens, you can't extend off of it, because what happens is she does a kickflip off of the enemy and leaves a remote bomb on them. And then after she does that, then it'll have like a little short cooldown, or maybe no cooldown at all. I don't think it needs a cooldown, to be honest. But like after she does the kick. But if you click the button again, it blows up this remote bomb on the player, right? And it guard breaks. But I'm gonna assume that that's a little too much, right? It would be mad fun, but that's probably a little too much. I mean, for launch, that'd be pretty fair. All the characters are always broken on launch. But if we wanted some nerfs, we'd probably give it a cooldown, or not a cooldown. I mean a countdown, right? A countdown to when it automatically explodes. It does guard break, but let me see. If you block with it and you get guard broken, you don't get knocked back. But if you're not blocking and it goes off, then you get knocked back, so you're safe there. So that's kind of the counterplay to that, right? But if you get caught blocking and you use that move, you're cooked. But it's not like he can apply pressure with you if you're not blocking. So if you just wait out the amount of time, you should be good. But he can do some pressure, right? With the next move, which is called Gurren Dance. But even then, it bounces out, right? Kallen comes out again, but now in her Gurren Type 2 mech, right? And then shoots out her right hand claw thing she has as a grapple, and it it auto aims at the enemy, and they have to block, or it's gonna grab them and pull them to you. And if it's used in the air, then it brings them down and slams them onto the ground. It down slams them onto the ground, and you can M off of that, right? Similar to like a Deku Black Whip, right? I think I put that in there somewhere, but that's what it does, right? So what you could do is you could if you catch them not blocking, right? You can use your Gurren dance, get the thing right to go chase them out, and then they block, right? But the thing is, you can't like if they do block it, right? You can't immediately use remote bomb after that because there's like a little end lag, right? If you miss, right? So it's not like, oh, they're blocked or they blocked, now I'm gonna press the bomb. No, it's not how it works, right? So you want to catch them in a moment where they're not thinking about the bomb, right? They have other things to worry about, to the point that then you use Gurren dance, and then you catch them off guard, and then you grab them, and then you can do your thing, right? And then another thing is, what I'm thinking with the bomb you could do is you could ladder off of it. So, but that's like a side note, right? All right, but now the second part of the move is if you use Gurren dance again while in an M1 combo after using, so it has to be like as soon as you get as soon as you drag him in, right? As soon as you get that confirmation that the first part landed and you're doing an M1 combo, right then you're only able to do the second part of the move. So you can't like do Gurren dance, switch to Suzaku, extend for that, and then use the second part of the move. No, you have to use it specifically here. At least that's how I'm envisioning it right now. I don't know if they want to do that, right? But so basically, if you hit the grapple part and you extend off of that, then you can use Fuku Shahara or whatever this is, right? I don't know how to speak Japanese, right? I'm not like that, right? But then she takes out her, the metal arm, right? The claw thing, right? And then she shoots out like a little like an orb beam or whatever she does in the show. She like emits like a beam out that's like circular, right? It's like, it's not like a beam straight, right? Like Goku. It's like a circular beam, right? And then that knocks back and combo ends. So that's like gonna be your combo ender if you're using it, if you're going that route. Or you could also do the mage. She's also a combo ender. So you have two on combo enders right there. And then you have C2 again, but this one's a different one. Now CC becomes an evasive. She takes her place, and she like with the zero suit, and she reveals, oh, CC taking the hit for you, and you get out. You get jail out of free card, right? But you can only use one of them because it's a shared cooldown. So it's either you're gonna have her as a shield in what's it called, in the other base, the innocent student, or you're gonna have her as evasive in zero. And which one you want is up to you, and then we have black and white again. We already talked about that. And then so let me talk about the combo routes, right? So the combo routes is gonna look like this in the base, right? Like a very basic one. Basic combo route is an M1 4 string into Suzaku in the ground version, and then he does the leg sweep. He does the flip. You catch him off of that. You start punching again. 3 M1 string. Then mid M1 string, similar to Saber, what you want to do is you want to press black and white, switch modes, up tilt, down slam into Gurren dance, and as you're falling down, you want to use the move, right? So that he grabs them, pulls them to you, so that it like by the time you get down on the floor, the enemy's already like pulled to you, right? Then you do another 4 M1 string into the Kallen, what's it called? Oh, no, just in the Kallen, right? Just normal Kallen. Like you just press, you finish it off with Kallen. She's also a combo ender. So you have 3 combo enders. Never mind. And then an advanced combo route would look like this. This is like something I would do, right? Or I think like this would probably be like the basic one, right? Unless somebody else figures out something else, right? There's always gonna be new tech, right? I don't know what it's gonna look like, right? But right now this is like what I'd imagine an advanced combo route would look like. You do an M1 5 string into Suzaku. So like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get knocked back on the ground. But then if you time it right, you can catch them as they're flying away from you, and then do the leg sweep, the flip. You extend off of that. You do another M1 5 string into an up tilt this time, and then you spam checkmate to make sure it comes out, right? And then the maid goes up, right, to chase the guy as he's going up, right? And then as she gets to him, she's gonna start doing the combo. And as she does the combo, you click black and white. You switch, you put your cape on. Now you're zero. She knocks back, right? And then you press Gurren dance like immediately. You try to do it as fast as possible, or you want to make sure that you're doing it at the time as she's knocking the person back, right? And then so like at that point they're stunned, right? So then the Gurren model, right, the mech, right, will go and like grab them, right, slam them down in front of you. You get another M1, you know, you get an extender right there, right. You get another punches in there, another five, you know, M1 5 string, right, and then you knock back. So you knock back. So like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You throw them away. You throw them away, right? And then, you know, similar to Suzuku, you want to spam it so that you get it right in time before they get too far away, right? You want to like grab them into the blast of like the orb beam, and then it'll throw them away, and that'll be the end, right? That'll be the combo ender, right? And that'll be your full combo. Whew, and then that was a lot. And then if you have remote bomb available, right? If you have a mono already, right? Then you can also always ladder with that, right? You know, you can ladder with that within the combo, right? You could like just throw that in there somewhere, right? As the extra extender. So here you have one extender Suzuku. The checkmate wasn't an extender, so it was a knockaway, but you used it as an extender by pairing it with Gurren Dance just to get the extra damage in. But yeah, this would like fit with most of the characters by like being able to like almost one shot, but not really, you know, leave them with like 30, 20 health, something like that, right? And that would be the end of your, you know, your base combo, right? Obviously you could do some other things, and obviously, you know, these moves might always be available, right? But at the start of the match, or you know, just the basic combo, bread and butter, this would be what it would be using, right? All right, next mode, crazy mode. All right, so now we're gonna be talking about awakening. If the skin, right, has Lelouch's mask on, because I'm envisioning like Zero having the mask off, right? But some people might want the mask on, so that'll be like a skin option, right? Similar to Bardock having the scanner on, scanner off, right? Pretty simple on and off thing, right? If the skin has the Lelouch's mask, it cracks open first and then falls off, right? Similar to like the ending of season 1. Lelouch lets out a maniacal laugh, like, you know, he does, you know, he's going crazy, like Crocodile. Crocodile does the same thing in the game. Blood etched down the face. I don't know. They might not add the blood. I wouldn't. The blood is not necessary because I know that Roblox is having some issues with that, so they might not want that. I don't know. And then yeah, he swipes his face, you know, removing his eye contacts that he uses in the show to reveal his Geass, right? And then in the background is playing CC's speech from episode 1, alongside Devil Created, which is like basically like the Geass music. When the Geass is going on, that's the music behind it, right? And then the visuals presented to the scene of Lelouch, right? So like when he first gets his Geass, he's like having these visions of like, you know, all these visuals of like bird feathers and all this stuff are going on. That's going to be going on in the background as Lelouch is in the cutscene laughing and then, you know, swiping his eyes, right? And then CC's in the background like, accept this contract and you accept its conditions. While living in the world of humans, you will live like any other, whatever, right? And then the power of King Kumo Kudemi, right? He does all that, right? And then the awakening music is previous notice, Code Geass OST. You see all this going on right in the same time. I'm gonna try to play the music, but I might get copyrighted. I don't know, but I don't. It doesn't really matter. Moves, right? Move 1, my sword, Night Zero. Suzuku is called Night Zero towards the end when he joins Lelouch, bro. Like, obviously there's gonna be spoilers here. Like, I forgot to say that in the beginning, but like that should have been obvious. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers here, brother. All right, so yeah, Suzuku becomes Night Zero in the end because he works for Lelouch, right? So that's why he's Suzuku. He even refers to himself as Lelouch's sword. That's why the move is called My Sword, Night Zero. I meant to put Night of Zero, but because that's how he refers himself in the show. But Night Zero also works, I guess. But I mean, it's like a little pet peeve, I guess. If you want to put of. I don't know. Ground Lancelot Albion. Okay, so if you're using this move on the ground, it does this thing, right? So Albion is basically just the upgraded version of the mech. He soars onto the field, spreading out his neon wings to unleash a barrage of laser rounds from the wings, right, at the opponent, because the wings are like neon too, right? So yeah, then he shoots like these like green lasers at them, right? And he's like shooting them, and then each of these lasers they like stun the opponent, right? And then at the end they down slam. And then as they down slam, then he's gonna slide in with his little wheels, and he's gonna deliver a giant slash with his 2 dual wield swords, similar to what he did to Bars Mark, whatever his name is. he was basically the guy with the future gears, right? He like sliced them in two, right? And he's gonna do the same thing with this enemy. He's gonna slice them in two, uh, and have like a cool effect with that, like cool little green neon effect. And then if you use it in the air, like if you up tilt into the air with it, you launch them in the air, it does air version, right? Where Albion basically just like it appears and then it disappears because it's like going super fast, right? It delivers like 6 slashes of like green neon at the enemy as they're in the air, and then it down slams them, right? So it's gonna bring them down, and then you can obviously combo extend as they're falling down and they hit the ground and you start hitting your combo, right? And then obviously it's gonna be blockable. This whole move is blockable, right? Except for the final slash sword thing, right? Where he does the big slash. That is not blockable. That's gonna guard break. But they should have been able to get away during those lasers because they could just dash, right, and dash out, get out of there. Move 2 is My Shield, Immortal Witch, which is CC, which is she's also called Immortal Witch, right? And she is Lelouch's shield, as seen in the base. Within Shinriko, which is Lelouch's mech, right? She appears, right? And she brings the mech with her, and then she puts up a green force field if you just click it once, right? And it basically serves as an iframe, right? He can tank any move if he does that right there, right? If clicked again, you board the you board the mech, the Shinriko, whatever it's called, then. So you click it twice, then you click it once, the shield comes up, click it again, you get in the mech, right? And then you fire 2 red lasers, at wherever you're aiming, right? Which can from the shoulders of the mech, right? Which can also be charged up like Vegeta's got the gun to do more damage. And let me see. And then if you take too long, obviously it just go. And if you don't hold it, it just goes off by itself. And then obviously you have like it's like similar to like what's it called, the lightning guy from One Piece in the game, right? When he uses his big like lightning form, I don't think he can get hit, but he does damage. It's gonna be something like that, right? Where he like takes up that big form of the Shinriko and then he does the damage, right? He shoots red lasers at the enemy. And if he doesn't board it, right? If he just clicks it once, he takes the iframe, but he doesn't want to click it again. The Shinriko will stay up floating in the air like Ishitar's, whatever her name is from Fate, right? She does her thing, right? But if she leaves the little thing up in the air, you know what I mean? She can like shoot it, right, from will, and the same thing you can do from here, right? If you leave it in the air, right, CC's gonna be on it still, and she can shoot it wherever your mouse is aiming at, similar to Ishtar. You can like shoot it specifically at where you want it, wherever you're aiming at your cursor at, right? So you can do something like that, and obviously this move is gonna guard break with the 2 giant lasers. It's gonna guard break. But if you click it twice, from like off rip, you automatically get into the mech without the force field. So you can use it in combos, right? And it won't take forever, right? And then obviously a combo ends and a combo like guard breaks, right? So like they can't block it, right? So yeah. And then move 3, My Army Undefeatable. Lelouch summons a firing team that obviously he brainwashed them, right? It's part of his army towards the end of the season, right? And then they spread out behind him, and they just start letting it loose, firing at the guy, right? At the enemy, right? And what? And then and then as you do this, your cape is gonna be flowing, right? Like all dramatic, right? As you tell the guy, as you tell him shoot him, right? And then it's a blockable extender. But basically, what the gunshots will do is they'll stun the person, right? Like think about Ishtar's like move where you like go up in the air and then you start shooting those like yellow lasers, right? And you hit the guy, right? But instead of like dashing up to them and knocking back, right? This move will just hit him with those yellow lasers, which is the gunfire, and it'll stun them, right? So and then it'll serve as an extender, right? So that's what you can do, right? And then if you press it twice, instead, what comes out is Rolo, Lelouch's quote-unquote brother, right? Which summons Rolo next to the opponent, and then Rolo will use his gears, right, to stop the perception of time, and basically time stop you and the enemy, and then he'll attach the bomb on the person, right? And this bomb might be more powerful than Callan's. I don't know yet. I'm gonna let it just be normal because it's not like the damage isn't really what you want it there for. It's more about the presence and the guard break, and just like what you could do with it, and just like catching people off guard. That's the cool thing about it. So just Rolo stuns them. You put the guard break, you put the bomb on them, and that's about it. and basically it's gonna be like Itachi's stun, right? Like that's basically how Rolo's time stop thing's gonna work. It just stops their perception of time, so they get stunned. And what else? And then yeah, so then they get knocked away as soon as you finish the Rolo thing. So someone to Callan, they get knocked away. He puts the bomb, maybe he kicks them, right, and they get knocked away. And then you press 3, and obviously you press the move again, and then the bomb goes off. And then lastly, his most famous move, his Geas, right? Which is called the move is called Power of a King, right? Lelouch Britannia commands you. That's going to be what he says. Hopefully they have the voice line for that. If not, just make it say it above him in the text box, like the other time. Excuse me. And then he does this iconic pose, right? And then he points his enemy. Then he does the swipe in the air, all that. You can look it up. He does that, and then he does. And then you have 3 options, right? You click 4. You have 3 options, right? The first one is die, right? One of the most basic ones, right? The one he does the first command he ever does is he just tells them to die, right? If you use this, your mode will end, and then the person will die after saying yes, my lord. The second one, right? If you click 4, oh yeah, you have to click 4, and then you have to press 1 for that to work, right? For the first little command to go, right? If you press 4 and then you press 2, the second one comes out where he says live. And he does a similar thing where he did the Suzuku, but your opponent isn't of strong will, so they just go crazy. Your enemy isn't like a crazy state. They want to stay alive so bad that they just do anything to stay alive. So they just start using moves like randomly. They just start like their moves come out randomly, right? Like 4 could come out randomly, 2 could come out randomly, right? And they're like, they're not having full control of the character because their moves are coming out randomly, right? And then the last one is just, if you press 4 and then you press 3, you tell them to forget how to awaken, so they can't awaken during that time. It's locked, right? Which is really good actually. Like if you plan that out and you do that properly, you can like make them in a very vulnerable position where they held on their awakening as like a crutch, and like you just like took that away from them, right? Which makes them pretty scary if you use them the right way there, right? And then it like lasts for like 20 seconds. Like the time limit is kind of like placeholder. It's like whatever the devs balance team feel like making, right? And then obviously for both of these, all the commands they say yes, my lord, and that means like that kind of like confirms that the move landed, right? But the big thing to know about is that this move is avoidable. You can avoid the Power of the King move, right? So like Lelouch will have this like glow on him, this purple violet glow, and maybe like a symbol of the Geas, right, reflecting off of him, to show, to make sure that the opponent knows that a Geas is incoming, right? So you don't want to use this move willy-nilly, right? Basically they'll have like 2 or 3 seconds, right, to react, to look away from Lelouch, and if they look away, they successfully avoid it, right? But obviously it's confirmable via combo, so you can do like 1, 2, 3 up, push away. And then immediately press 4, the Power of the King, and then they can't look away because they're stunned, and then that's how you get them, right? Or you could do it, you could do it within your combo centers from your other moves, right? You can combo center off of them, and then they can't look away, they're stunned, and then you use the move, and then it'll confirm. And then basically all the Geas options here are one-time use, so you can only use them one time, because like as in the show, there's a limit for how you can only use the Geas on one person one time. It only works one time. So any of these Geas powers that you use on them, it'll only work one time, right? And obviously you could be like, oh well, I'll just use die every single time. Well, you might be in a scenario where the opponent has 2 stocks remaining. You don't want to just use die, right? And then they still have 1 stock remaining, and now you lost your ult. Right? You want to make sure you're using the full complexity of your ult, and then using forget to how to awaken, and maybe live if that's what you want to do. I don't know. It's just these are just options for what you want to use, right? But yeah, that's basically his ult. It's pretty crazy. And then next I got one more side. These are just skins, and also the combo routes. I forgot about that. Let's go over combo route first because that's like more interesting, right? So the basic combo you want to do is just your M1 4 string into 1 if you're just feeling safe. You don't want to do too much. So 4 M1s into My Knight, which does the extender. And then 4 M1s into 3 My Army, which does the extender, and then 4 string into spam 2, and then you do your laser thing and then it knocks away, right? Advanced combo route would be something like this, right? you want to do one M1 string up tilt, right? So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up on the 5th one. And then as soon as you up tilt, you want to spam my army. You want to you don't want to spam it too much. You want to press it one time, but press it really quick so that the army comes out at the right time. And so like as they're going up, as soon as they're going up, you want your army to start shooting at him, right? So it like the hit stuns stop him from going up. So you kind of like stun him in the air within a reasonable reach for you to be able to jump up, right? After your little animation that you do when you're in the army, when the army move, you want to jump, ladder off of it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, down slam into 1, my knight. And then he'll do his little animations, right? He'll do the the slash, right? Because the enemy's on the ground. He'll do the wing lasers, and then he'll do the slash, and then after that, oh, and then while the guy is shooting the lasers, right? While Suzuki is shooting lasers, you can start punching like Pucci, right? Like during Pucci's barrage, you can start punching the enemy, right? You can do the same thing while my knight is using its lasers, right? Because they're stunned, they can get hit at the same time. You can start punching them and get some extra damage off that, right? So then yeah, so after my knight, you do another M1 string after he does the sword slash, another M1 string, and then you up tilt into, you up tilt knock away, right? Like they're flying up in the air. Now you press 2, you spam it because you want to make sure it's getting up the laser one. That's the one you want. Then you aim up, you let it charge a little bit like how you would Vegeta, and then you just unleash it, and it does a little bit more damage because you charge it up. And then that would be your combo end, right? That'd be it. And then obviously Power of a King is more of a trump card. You wouldn't use it in your bread and butter combo, right? Because you can only use Geass once, and it's pretty easy to miss. But anyways, you'd want to use it in a specific scenario where you could get the best off of it, right? And maybe even save it for like a confirmed kill, right? With the die command, right? And these are some skin ideas if they wanted to skin. But yeah, that's about it. That's my entire Lelouch concept. Hopefully it gets in the game. I will keep posting it here. If they talk about if I know Drac has the chance to make my character, right? Because he'd be making these edgy characters, and some people were even pointing it out, right? That Drac is making edgy characters, right? Like he made that one guy from Chainsaw Man that was edgy. Forgot his name. He made Devil Man Crybaby, which that guy was edgy, right? He made Deku, but like the edgy version. What else? He's making Sunjin Woo, which is also edgy. People were saying that he's probably gonna make Sid Kagenu because he's edgy. Like he's on this edgy streak, right? Like what else? He made Choso, which is edgy, kind of, So he's going on this like edgy streak, right? Of like some like dark, like mysterious character, right? So easily he can make Lelouch, right? Hopefully, if he does make Lelouch, I need y'all to tell him like, yo, check out Nepo's submission, because this is a perfect kit for him. He is one of the characters that deserves a Switch kit, like a Switch base kit, the most. Like Saber, the Saber thing, the Devil Man thing, like he deserves this too. He already did Devil Man, so he has a good idea of how to do this too, right? And it just works so well, in my opinion. Like this would work so well. Obviously, I'm not a balance team, so I don't know how these moves would be balanced, and they can take control of that whatever they want. I just gave some suggestions of what they could do. Like they can make spin set Zaku guard break if they wanted to. I didn't write it there, but I'm just thinking they could do that. Make sure to let people know about this. Quote me on this. I don't know, whatever you want. Let people know about me. I don't know. If they start talking about Lelouch being added in, tell them to copy or to use Nepo's kit, Nepo's Lelouch kit. Quote me on that. Refer to me so that this can get added. All right, I need this to be added in. All right, this is perfect. I need y'all to put some trust in me. This is gonna be some peak. All right, I'm gonna have CC using Pizza Hut pizza box, or like a Pizza Hut pizza. I don't know, Pizza Hut pizza box. That'd be pretty cool. Like think about that, bro. Like obviously they might not take everything from me, right? They might not take. Maybe they only want to take like a couple of ideas, right? Maybe like how they did with like the Sona, right? With Gogeta. If they only want to take like a couple ideas, that's fine. I'll take it. But at least some of these are some like crazy ideas. Like the combos that you could do with this kit seem super fun and cool. But yeah, I'm gonna see you. This video has like been super long, probably already too long enough. I'll see you. But yeah, don't forget to quote me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.